Did you know Santa drives a Land Cruiser? Santa, every year at Christmas time, our local town market, Santa Claus goes along to throw some lollies at/to some children. And every year I get dressed up in a Santa suit and I jump in the back of this, what would you call it, a hot rod, rat rod, something like that. And my mechanic is the one who drives it. I think it's his uncle's car. And it was passed down when his uncle passed away. And Ash takes me in there, I jump in the back of the ute and we go around the market throwing out the lollies. And that is the sort of relationship you want to have with your mechanic. Sometimes it's just really bloody hard to find a good mechanic. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world, finding that mechanic is, finding someone that you trust is quite difficult to do. You may remember some time ago I did a video with the camper trailer and I was up in the high country and I was talking about going down some pretty steep things, and I mentioned in that video that I didn't want to stop and record my descent because I didn't trust the handbrake on the cruiser. Probably about a month or so later, I booked my car in to get serviced and I got out of there, I forgot all about the handbrake, and I left there and the handbrake was fixed. Didn't even tell the mechanic. And when I asked him about it, his name's Ash, I said, mate, you fixed the handbrake? He said, of course I did. I watched your gear. I watched your videos, so I knew it was a bit dodgy. So he fixed it for me. And that is the sort of mechanic that you want. Here in Tyre Power Kuhuna, or if you're a local, you'd call it Kuhuna, these guys have had this place for 12 or 13 years, and they've been my mechanic here, well, ever since I've been here. They do a bloody good job, and because they're on the front foot with everything, I'm more than happy for them to do what they're doing today. So what we're doing to the cruiser is we're giving it a 2-inch lift, or a 45mm lift, I think it is, putting some new wheels and tyres, and even putting a winch on there. So the plan of attack with Ash, I think at the moment, is we're doing the suspension first with the front and the rear, and after that I think we do the tyres and wheels and then the winch. So first things first, Ash just went around with the tape measure and measured up all 4 wheels to make sure we've got a good starting point, to make sure we're still staying nice and legal. Once that was done, we started ripping off all the wheels and started taking out the old suspension. The new stuff, it looks friggin' mint. Look, let's hear that from Ash.
I'm Ash from Duncan Way Tyre Power Kahuna. My family's been a part of Duncan Way Tyre Power for over 30 years. Dad's been here for that long. They've owned it for 12. I have been the manager for 6. Here at Duncan Way Tyre Power Kahuna, we have 10 staff. We have 2 mechanics, 2 tyre fitters, 2 wheel liners, and the office crew. We offer a wide range of services, including logbook servicing, suspension upgrades, tyre fitting, agricultural, truck tyres, the lot. So with Shane's car, we did a 2-inch suspension lift, Dobinson's suspension lift. We also did rims and tyres with Falcon Peak tyres and ROH Assault rims. We also fitted a winch. We installed the winch in Shane's vehicle mainly because he does a lot of solo touring, and it's a cheap insurance when you're out on your own to get you out of unstuck, or even getting someone else unstuck. We went with a 2-inch suspension lift mainly because of it being legal. We didn't want to go too high. That's a mistake a lot of people make, is they want to be really high, and that can cause dramas with a lot of aspects of it all, with legalities and even drivability. We use Dobinson's because it's a brand we trust. We've ran it for 8 years. We have previously sold other brands, and we trust this brand. We use it, all of our own vehicles have it. We didn't go with a remote reservoir shock, mainly because we believe it's unnecessary for day-to-day driving. If you were doing hundreds and hundreds of kilometres of gravel roads and bad corrugations, it might be worth it, but in our opinion, it's not worth it for the day-to-day drive. With the IMS shockers, you can have them this way, you can have them that way, you can have them sideways if you could. Being an internal monotube, they can be mounted anyway.
What's the number one thing people do wrong when they do their own lifts?
The number one thing people do wrong when they lift their own vehicles are going too high. They want to be massive off the ground. With IFS suspension, people go too high and it can cause CV bind, poor driving with solid front end vehicles. You can go too high and it makes your car drive like a shopping trolley.
But when they go too high, there's things that they can do, surely, that will stop those sorts of things happening, like CV bind?
You can, with the CV bind, you can do diff drops, but there's only so much you can do.
So the higher you go, the more expensive it is?
Yeah, definitely. And especially with IFS vehicles, the more tension you put on that spring, the harsher it rides.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And for people who are doing it themselves, what advice would you give? Someone's doing this in their backyard.
Don't overdo it. If you're doing your own suspension, don't overdo it. Keep it legal, because a lot of people think you have to have massive suspension to go off-road. Low and slow is my motto. Keep it low, keep it slow. The higher you are, the easier you are to tip over.
Well, I've seen those videos that you did with you guys, and then I reckon it was Jamie. With the patrol. Stock standard suspension. And he was doing everything. He was doing everything that you guys were doing.
Don't need the big lifts to get places. All the other tyre power stores, they offer the same services. Not as many do the mechanical side like we do. We're a bit different, and we do a lot more agricultural than some other stores would do.
But I noticed when you were tightening up my wheels, you're using a tension wrench. Why?
So every wheel we take off, we tension to the manufacturer's specifications, just for safety, and and we make sure they come back in 50 kilometres to be re-tensioned.
Yeah, right. Lastly, what vehicle do you drive?
I drive an N70 Hilux. I've had that for 5 years, and it has done 410,000 kilometres.
What mods have you done to it? Broad stroke?
I bought it as stock as a rock. I've done bull bar, lift, tyres and rims, dual battery setup, the works.
Cool. And now that it's done, you can't look at that and go, it doesn't look good. I think it looks bloody amazing. They've done such a good job with it. It looks kind of beastly, and it's still 100% legal. And that's kind of important. Doing all this work is something that I would say that if you're mechanically minded enough, you could probably do it yourself. It's going to take time, it's going to take a little bit of infrastructure there for jacks or hoists or whatever your situation is. But if you don't have all that stuff, it's just going to take you longer, and that's something that we just don't have. These boys did all of this in about a day and a half. Now it's been about a week that it's been on there, and I can tell you the ride is very different. The ride is so much more comfortable. It's not as jarring as what it was. It's nice and smooth over corrugations. It's changed it so much. It's changed it more than what I thought it would. I went into this with the expectation of I get what sort of car it is. I get it's an agricultural sort of car, and I don't expect it to drive like a 300 series cruiser, and it still doesn't. But by God, it's so much more comfortable than what it was. It's a pleasure to drive now. And if you've got one of these, you know that's kind of hard to believe. This is not an ad for Tyre Power. This is just an ad for my mechanic. They do a bloody good job. If you're in this sort of area and you're looking for work to be done to your vehicle, definitely get onto Tyre Power in Cuyuna. They are bloody legends at doing what they do. All right, guys, that's it for today. I'll catch you later.